everyone. Welcome to another episode of Beyond Retirement. Today, I'm really thrilled to be joined by Emily Braun. Emily and I got to know each other earlier this year when she reached out to invite me to visit a networking group that she belongs to. She told me she'd discovered my podcast and she wanted to find out how we could help each other, and more importantly, how we could combine our efforts to help the community of people that who are looking for real information about retirement options. Emily created international lifestyle consulting to help others find ways to work, live, and retire overseas to enjoy life to the fullest without compromising health, and overall well-being. She believes that by helping her clients find the location that best meets their needs in terms of climate, infrastructure, cultural life, and community, she'd ultimately be helping them achieve an active, enjoyable lifestyle that they want and deserve. Emily, thanks for joining me today.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for inviting me to speak with your followers and actually to be with you, to speak and share my information. And I believe it might help people to make a correct decision or bring some awareness or information about what to do next.
I think you're right. I think this is a wonderful thing that you're doing. And let's start off with a little bit about your story. How did you decide, or why did you decide to start your international lifestyle consulting?
I can tell that I myself, first of all, belong to baby boomer generation, kind of the lowest year, but I really understand, feel what kind of issues baby boomers older than me, and actually people in 50s now facing now, maybe would be facing soon. And having my personal experience of several immigration, as I lived in several countries before I came to Canada, and living in Canada already 25 years, and having my personal experience as traveler and owner of the small travel company before I opened international lifestyle consulting, I decided that it's the best form how I can help people. Actually, taking together my personal experience, professional experience, my traveler experience, and looking around on what's going on to the world, be in position to help people in very important stage of our life, I would say, as many of us thinking how we would retire, or what would be with our life beyond retirement, as you named your podcast. Because from my point of view, actually retirement should not be kind of end of the life, vice versa. It's a new chapter when we finally probably have time to do what we want to do, to have a freedom of choice and freedom of life, hopefully financial freedom to do whatever we were not allowed to do before. I mean, not allowed because of work, family obligation, children, and all other commitment we've had over our life. So now it's a time for us to be healthy, to be active, and to enjoy our life in the fullest. And I'm about to help from my side to advise where the places where we really can find hopefully the best for us place to enjoy the life after retirement.
That's wonderful. I think what you're doing is a great service. And as you know, the themes I've selected this season for the podcast are planning, freedom, confidence, generosity. And I think your work fits very well into all of these topics. And I think that people, even before they retire, perhaps, need to start looking at places to retire, looking at the things they're going to do in the future. And I'd like you to talk a little bit about what you do, what your process is if someone comes to you, how you help them, and just kind of take us through what someone can expect from you.
Very good question. And actually, to explain people what expectation might be when working with me, I created a special tab on my website, which is emilybron.com. I'm trying to be kind of easy for people to remember. My first name and last name, emilybron, together.com. And first of all, on the website, people can find information about countries I'm working with. And when I'm telling countries I'm working with, I would like to underline that I have information about more countries that you can find on my website. But in these particular countries, I have connections, local connections, or it's retirement communities, or it's it's immigration lawyers, developers, and expats who really might and would help prospective retirees to adjust, to accommodate to the country. Because the process, how I know it from my experience and how I understand what's going now, started with information. And internet today provides a lot of information. It's good, and it's and catch in all of this how to find what is good for me, for my particular situation. I speak about customers now, about because every country is different immigration rules, different budget you can survive on, different climate, different expectation. So it's a lot of information to digest, and many people even don't know where to start from. What is good for me? I know that people are reading for years International Living. Actually, I was reader of this magazine, online magazine as well, but like this country, another country, and all looks like so attractive. And at the end of the day, like, would I be happy? How I can find a good place for me? Because my understanding that it's not only place, we need to find community. And it's very important for us, specifically if we are moving to new country, even we live in half a year. Some Canadians prefer to spend winter, say 6 months, to spend in other country. Even in this case, we need to go through some process. We need to have information. I am about to help people not to make mistakes, because there is a regulation, and probably will be even more regulation regarding. I'm not speaking about COVID now. COVID gives like additional, I would say, challenges in this direction. I'm speaking about how to do correctly. It's legally. So it would be correct from financial perspective, from taxation perspective. But first of all, you need to start to understand what is the better places would be for you in your particular situation, in your budget, and we are all different. So speaking about me, all actually started with my own search, because I realized after even many years of living in Canada and having actually good professional work, I realized that I would not be able to retire on a pension I would get, when time will come. And I'm still working. So I thought, okay, what kind of options do I have? I didn't want to go, to some countryside, North Ontario, for example, or Quebec. It's too cold for me. I was looking for some sunny destination. It's how I started my own search years ago. So I had information at the beginning about Costa Rica, about Panama, about Mexico. It's a places that most of Canadians know and probably visited over the lifetime being in resorts. But I fully understand that being tourist and spend some time in resort, it's actually nothing to do with real life when you decided to relocate and you're not aware about what steps should be first. So I realized it for myself. And since I started to, and I'm collecting my knowledge kind of daily, and I started to connect with people in different countries. I was going to international conferences, and I'm still participating and very interested in research in this direction. I decided that I can share the information, which is changing now, with other people who might be in the same situation, but they don't have experience like my experience and don't have the knowledge I have. And please remember, I'm not working kind of for some particular developer. When I'm speaking about country, like my process is different. I'm not international living. I appreciate information they giving. They working with some particular developers who are selling this or other properties. Yes, I understand that to have accommodation or to have correct investment in advance when you're not yet retired, it's very important in correct step. And I would speak about it with people when time will come. And some people, by the way, interested at this point of life to invest. And it might be good as well. I mean, to have vacation home where you can spend, winter or maybe months, or invest in some countries because price of real estate is raising, not only in Canada, in different places. But comparing with Canada, like it's really hard to compare because again, for fraction of the price, now when we're speaking about this side, you can have really good property and in good community in different countries. So I'm trying to, from practical side, to give information about what kind of opportunities people might have and maybe to consider now, because in some countries, depending on situation, this kind of properties will give, it's a first step to get residency, which is very important when people decided to move to different country. So that's why I'm maybe provided a lot of information about way I'm working with in different countries, but speaking how people are working with me. You can find more detailed information on my website. I offer and really advise to have first consultation with me, and it's discovery call. And when people actually booking consultation, they immediately receive a questionnaire, know yourself questionnaire. It's like how financial advisors or maybe some other advisors do. I very seriously, accept this important step of the process, and it helps people itself to filter out their option, to start thinking about it, because some people even don't consider many questions because you don't know what you don't know. So I get these answers before even person get to first consultation, and I clarify some maybe points of interest, because again, depending on a health level, budget, and personal situation, and by the way, what is important, knowledge of language, local language in a country person is interested to relocate, I might give different advice. So we're starting from this point, and I'm explaining based on the knowledge I have what might be the best situation. Person might accept it or might have some time to think about it. I'm providing information. I understand it might be not kind of immediate process. So we're starting a process of kind of zeroing down what might be best option. And after then, I'm offering for some people, and I believe it would be very beneficial, really step-by-step plan, how to prepare yourself, from logistic point of view, how to start the process, how to go. And by the way, I'm connecting with different professionals along the road, because I know kind of generally about immigration rules, about taxation, but I'm not tax advisor, I'm not financial advisor. So when it coming to the point, I'm connecting with the people who would really give professional advice based on information required for this maybe particular country. That's why I'm constantly, I have already connection, but because I'm working with different countries, I'm trying to be aware of changes happening in different countries. I'm speaking now from immigration point of view and some other point of view, because all this information might help people to make this not only decision, but to consider their steps, on a direction of actual relocation.
So you have people in their first, before their discovery call, they do a questionnaire, and I assume that they answer questions about their likes and dislikes, their activities, their health, all those sorts of things, to get an idea of what they might be interested in, where they might want to go, what would fit for them. How do you take that? How do you decide what country might be good? Do you wait for them to say, hey, I'd like to go to Costa Rica, for example, or I've always wanted to go to Ecuador? Or do you suggest, based on your health and your finances and your activities, this would be a good spot for you? What do you do?
No, first of all, I'm really asking person if he has already some idea in mind, because I understand some people already went through the process, and I'm asking, like, what were your consideration, like why you decided this country? It might be already kind of very valid reasons, but I can tell you what I would have I need to add. And thank you for asking me this question. In my questionnaire, I'm asking not only about activities and person would like to be engaged. I'm asking about family situation. If you have somebody, some business or grandchildren and children at home that you need to be close. If you have some property at home, because it might be game changer. How you see yourself? What is your climate preferences? Because, for example, I know myself that I'm not good with humidity. And it's very important factor for people, especially kind of later in life, to have climate which is really good for their particular situation. So for people, with certain condition, there is certain requirements. And if person is, I would say, kind of absolutely healthy or mostly healthy, he has more choices, let's say, of places. If people have some condition, I don't say it's impossible, but I'm really looking for places where hospital is close. It's what I'm considering. So if you have problem, please be aware that you don't need to be far away from the hospital, or you need to be far really close to airport. Like many, this kind of logistic that might be game changer. And again, there are some questions considering a language or preferences. Do you want to live in expat community? And I understand that for many people, specifically in the beginning, it might be very important because even people already learning Spanish, let's face reality. I was immigrant several times, and I know how long it took me, when I come to the new country, really feel that I'm comfortable, speaking on the different topics. And we need now it's not only kind of our immediate community. We need to speak with, government representatives in different countries. We need to interact with like businesses representatives, like we need to pay our bills. So there's many consideration which I'm taking in account, because I've during my life, being in different age, I was moving from country to country, and our priorities changing over the life, what is important for us. And I understand what is important for people mostly, I believe, in 50s and 60s, what kind of consideration should be taken in account when we select next place of living. Because we're coming to have active, healthy life. Yes. So we need to be sure that infrastructure, when I speak about infrastructure, I mean not only road condition, which is very important, by the way. I'm taking consideration closest airport, how you get, or at least I'm providing information. I'm asking, like, you need to consider this, and this. You need to consider that, for example, if you selected to live in Yucatan, Mexico, and I feel that like Mexico is a country I know maybe more than other countries, because first of all, I'm myself planning to relocate to Mexico. I'm traveling to Mexico, and I'm just back from Mexico. I spent months in Mexico now. And actually, my main research in Mexico before was when I was dealing with medical tourism. And now I'm back to the topic, retirement communities in Mexico. It's what I'm looking for. I mean, more information about it. And I can tell you and your followers that I was even in my latest tour in, I would say, communication with several Mexican developers about building of new communities for Americans and Canadians who are looking for this option. So it's still early to speak, but I just would like to share with people, because I know that people looking for such communities, and they building already in Mexico, and I know kind of in different places what kind of communities. And I was coming actually with a doctor, with our Canadian doctor, because there is interest from certain investors and to build actually places which would be good now for people, in active stage, and later for Canadians who, unfortunately, we all understand it's part of our life, would require medical care. So we're speaking about assisted living communities with staff speaking in English, and on a best standard, better than in Canada, because we would like to accommodate best world standards of living and care, medical care for people who require this care and who cannot find affordable solution in Canada.
Well, it sounds fabulous.
Yeah, it's only early stage, and we kind of in communication, like my Mexican partner actually, but they see that there is an interest from Canada, and I found already, another lady who represent retirees from California, and I believe it would be several investors when it would happen to actually build the community. Like there is already land, there is already plan, but they need to work on very important details on kind of business model and what it cost to people, because at the end of the day we say it should be affordable for Canadians. And I always saying, look, what is good for Californians, with all respect, might be not good for us, because we have different cost of living. Californians now looking for options. I mean, people in retirement age, and that's why I know about it, because I'm in connection with this lady who is helping to build communities for Americans, for Californians. Now we decided actually to unite our efforts. Why not? Because we all understand that we need to help each other. And she already lives in Mexico, and probably if when it will start it, I would relocate as well. But now I'm still in Toronto.
So when you're out looking, you're researching in various countries, do you find that the people that you're encountering, that you're potentially working with to develop the retirement communities, the assisted living communities, are they favorable? Are they excited about this opportunity, or are they hesitant to partner with you? how is the reception?
So first of all, I'm looking and selecting the people, companies who are already working on this market for years. It's I kind of new. They already working. For example, my main partner in Central America, it's Americans and Canadians who are living already 25 years, and they started to build these retirement communities from Nicaragua. They built already in Belize. They're building now in Panama. They expanding, kind of to different countries, and they will build new community in Mexico. And by the way, why I kind of attached to them, because we have similar vision and we're working for the same people, kind of for the same people, like middle class, baby boomers. They started to work now for digital nomads as well. But I like the concept. They have already land that they developed in different countries. They do all kind of, and they actually developing eco-living communities because they have this opportunity. They building really, the small homes and homes of different size. They have variety, what I like, small homes, bigger homes for younger generation, for older. So it's really sense of community. It's what kind of they trying to satisfy, starting and living. So it can be good like for you, and it can be good for your children and for your grandchildren when they, for example, will decide to visit you probably for months or two. So they accommodate really different generations. So they build based on kind of generational priorities. So actually it's resort. It's resort. And people, and I know they growing, over the last years, the COVID like brought so big interest, a lot of people buying. That's why they're extending now, because more and more people from North America and from Europe coming and investing, actually building their retirement or vacation home, you can name it, actually be part of their community. It's kind of one example of Mexico. Like I'm connected. Mexico, it's a huge country, yes. So in different region, I have connection with different developers. And again, I selected, like based on our kind of mutual sympathy, I would say, and understanding and mutual goals, because there are many different developers when we're speaking about community. And in Mexico, there are already community, depending on the place. Yes, there's already developed expat community. Kind of, you don't need to create something specific. If people would like to live as a kind of community housing, it's a different story. Speaking about Europe, again, I'm working with people who are already on the market for years. They building community. Like in Portugal, it's a little bit different. In Spain, it's different. But they building in places, or not only building, they can help with rental, which is very important. I don't say kind of buy immediately property. No, go see, like, because with all the best advices, you might feel that you need time to accommodate, to feel, how good you feel yourself in this or other place. And speaking, for example, about Algarve in Portugal, it's a big region. And some people, they start to live in one place, and after then they might find, like next small city. So take this time, to accommodate. But I know that there are, by the way, issue kind of in Portugal to find good rental option. Okay, so there is the people who would help you. They would help you with immigration process when it's required, because it's a different story. For us Canadians and Americans, and I'm working for Americans and Canadians. If it's Latin America, we have one condition. For Europe, I'm not speaking about COVID now, but we need to go through immigration process. So it's a different story. But again, I bring all this information for people to consider, because when they say, okay, we'll go to live on, say, we like Portugal. It's nice, but you need to be aware that you need to have such a budget. You need to have this, and this. Are you ready for this? Okay, it's a different story. It's how I feel I might clarify people their option.
Oh, that's fabulous. I think the way that you've explained it, I think that people are probably going to have all of their little ducks in a row when they're finished talking to you. They're going to know what their options are. They're going to be able to examine the places that they might want to live, go and try them out, see what suits them, see what doesn't suit them. As you say, maybe rent for a little while, maybe visit for a while. And I think that the service that you offer is something that more and more people are going to be taking advantage of in the future, because it's getting harder and harder to find places to go on your own, and to have that research done for you and to have those options laid out is something that I think anyone would jump at.
Thank you. What I would say is that I have with some companies even agreement kind of to the small tour. I know how hard now really to plan any travel with all these closures, but there is like I have agreement, say like I can find where people would live in Belize, actually for them to spend time and to look to select, because there are several maybe options for them to consider and get information firsthand. But from other side, I understand it's not so easy travel now. Before I was actually, I started my business with creating Discovery Lifestyle Tour, which is still on my website. But like I'm not offering now tours, I put them on a shelf because it's really hard to plan something. And people, I understand the desire to get information firsthand being on a country soil, but from other side, with all limitation we have, like it's better to get some information. It's what I'm doing via my research. That's why actually I went to Mexico to see with my eyes and to get my information, because by the way, I don't send people to the places I didn't see myself, or I'm not sure about what's going on. I do my research before I feel comfortable that it would be really a good place for to consider. Again, different people have different retirement plans or maybe investment plans. So I am really following the news about digital nomads movement, and they have their community. But what I noticed, by the way, is that many places that I'm working with, they checking boxes for retirees as well as for digital nomads. That's why you can see like I'm speaking about retirement and digital nomad and remote workers, because what is important for both group, for all of us, good connection option, good Wi-Fi, internet, because we would like to be connected with our families, and many of us considering actually to have some work. Even when we retire, we can consult. Maybe we need to work, to satisfy our lifestyle desires and demands. So that's why it's important to be in a place where we can have all these amenities. For other people, maybe there is different concern. There are some people who say, like, I would like an uninhabited island. I thought, okay, it's what you like, but please remember, like, check yourself how long you can survive without community. And there are some people who think that they can survive. Okay, there is the option, by the way. Now there are islands, and I'm speaking now about islands in Belize and other islands which are really developed to the level that you feel that you are in community if you wish, and you can go out and have your space, as people say, space and place without community. So there is an option.
Wow, that's right. I was thinking about Gilligan's Island. You go and watch. I don't know if you've watched that TV show. I'm dating myself.
Yeah, there's a lot of shows, and I'm not following all of them. What I'm trying lately, even for me to follow, all news in the countries, as I say, countries of my interest, there are so many changes, and I believe would be like political, economical. We can see it from our own country. So nobody knows what will be in the future, but
No.
life became more expensive. Healthcare became, I would say, less reachable.
Yep.
How to say it politically correct? And we need to consider it in I understand that there are some processes, political, economical, and whatever happening in other countries. But what I can see and already say with assurance, people already started to move from country to country, from continent to continent, because in my kind of analysis, understanding, we as kind of world society and specifically on our continent, we now on the verge of the new era.
Yep.
New era, it might be new political, whatever economical structure. And we know already during the COVID that, some people lost their businesses. Like I'm speaking now about small and middle size businesses, mom and pop shops. And some people might lose their retirement. And even people not considering now, but we kind of looking to the future with some worry, kind of understandable already what will be and how we will be able to survive. And I'm speaking now not only about survival, how to make best of this chapter of life.
That's it,
So
exactly.
yes, I'm aware of what's going on, and I'm trying to consider the factors. And again, it might be not enough 1, 2, 3 consultation with me to find all the information, because it's really research. And by the way, what I'm offering research based on kind of family particular situation. If you need to compare one country with another country, and I have material, I have resources. I'm providing like articles, webinars if it's needed. I'm collecting all this, and it's information because it's not only me, kind of, there's official sources. But again, I spend time collecting my sources of information. And that's why I'm giving kind of already results, fruit of my search to others.
That's great, Emily. I think you've got, like I said, a service that is desperately needed, especially in this day and age when people are moving everywhere. Everyone's trying to find the best place, the best lifestyle they can have, and it's not necessarily going to be in their home country anymore. I think having the option to move around the way we do in this day and age is very important. And COVID aside, I think it's not going to decrease, it's just going to increase.
I think it's going to increase. And again, I'm about community. And I can tell as immigrant myself how important to be part of your language, culture, community, at least at the beginning of your life. Or maybe for some of, like I'm part of 3 communities here. It just happened. And I really value the experience and people. And I understand difference between different communities. I belong here in Toronto, I mean. And I'm fully aware how important would be for Canadians and Americans who actually never had experience living in different country, to relocate and feel comfortable. And again, I'm for community. And if I can help or navigate, people to be part of existing communities, I think it's already good benefit, because we need help. Whenever we, anyway, we will need help with language, we will need help with local specifics, because obviously I cannot know what's happening in this city and this city. And what I found being part of Facebook groups in different cities, people are really helping with advice, local advice, when speaking about what school is best. So I myself, when I have interest, I'm going and I'm reading, what people say here and there about this particular question. And it's all time, but I see that people are sharing information. By the way, I very like and appreciate Mexicans who, like English speaking, I'm not speaking Spanish, I just started to learn. Really people helping, giving advices, happy to help. Actually, Mexicans are very open heart and very good people in regards to help and generally.
So thank you very much, Emily. We've just kind of touched the surface of the things that you can do and the services that you offer. I know that people can reach you on your site, and they can also reach you via LinkedIn and Facebook if they want to. I'll have all those links in the show notes to make sure that they can find you. Is there anything you'd like to say just in closing about your business or to anyone in general?
What I would like to say, yes, I'm very active in LinkedIn, looking for more connection and actually people, it's a little bit different language I'm using over there. I'm active on Facebook. And what I can tell, we are living not in easy times. I don't want to sound as cliche, but we need to be really courageous. And don't afraid to make steps, because there are people who would help you along the road. Just important to find the people, and I'm about to help kind of in the first stage with information, and maybe later on, and maybe we will be living in the same community, and it's what I'm about. It's what I'm telling actually people in our Russian community here. Okay, let's unite. Let's have community. You feel comfortable with each other. So what is a community? 3, 4 families will decide and move, and in 5-10 years, all your friends and relatives, not all who are interested, will visit you and might join you. So you will have pleasure living between your kind of friends and family member. Don't afraid to make this first step. I'm going already. I'm investigating. Obviously, I cannot be in each and every place. In other countries, I've been, but I rely on local Americans and Canadians. Yes, it's the people who I'm connecting, or like Portuguese. I know these people very professional, which I really can recommend, and like this kind of they will help you along the road. But people need to be aware that there are options. Just don't afraid, investigate, go and make your life better, that it can. Don't rely on government or some organization. I'm open, because nobody will help you other than you, better than you.
Perfect. Thanks very much, Emily, for joining me today. I've really appreciated it. I'm sure the listeners have enjoyed hearing all the options that they've got.
Thank you. And what I can add, I get more and more information about the project. Like I just outlined today, the information from 2 weeks ago. And probably when you would hear this interview, I would have already more information about this particular project and maybe some others, because I'm really in a search of places where we can build our communities, being retirees, communities which actually assisted living communities. It's all important for our well-being. Thank you.
There are many reasons people choose to make the move to the destination of their dreams. Remote workers can work from anywhere with an internet connection. Today, virtually every part of the world is online. Once just the lifestyle of digital nomads, the pandemic has led millions of people to work remotely. Many are choosing to move to a foreign location. Retirees, too, discover how their nest egg can go farther when living in a location that offers a better quality of life while reducing expenses. At International Lifestyle Consultants, we have scoured the world to uncover the best foreign destinations to call home. Perhaps you dream of a pastoral life in the quaint European countrysides of Italy or Portugal. On the shores of the Black Sea, you can find luxury accommodations at a fraction of what you would pay in the United States and Canada. Enjoy a leisurely lifestyle of Caribbean or Pacific trade winds found in the beachside communities of Mexico, Central and South America. Choose from the many charming colonial towns located in the same region. Discover areas with quality access to dental and health care that have attracted many foreign travelers on a budget. We make choosing to live in your dream destination a reality. We have curated migratory, cultural, and investment opportunities that you will not find elsewhere. We know firsthand how to help you create your step-by-step relocation plan. You'll begin your journey by filling out our Know Yourself questionnaire. We can also arrange discovery tours so you can experience the culture up close and personal prior to making your move. You don't have to dream of living in an exotic location. Contact us today and make that dream a reality.